This is the legendary Souffle Suissesse. So guys, let's do it. This amazing souffle was made famous by the legendary La Gavroche restaurant in Mayfair, London. It's unbelievably light and fluffy, but rich and deep and full of flavour. A true classic. And so the first step, we're going to prepare the cheese. We want equal amounts of cheddar cheese, extra mature of course, and some Gruyere. So take a nice chunk of your cheddar, trim the rind off the Gruyere, and then we want a mixing bowl and a box grater. Start by grating out the cheddar. Once that's in, grate your Gruyere. Give it a mix, and then pop the cheese to one side, ready to go. And then we want to separate out some egg yolks. So take a large mixing bowl and another bowl, and you want to separate the whites from the yolks. Pop the whites into the big mixing bowl, stick the yolks in the smaller one, and then we're ready to move on to the cooking. So we need a frying pan and a saucepan. Pop the heat on low to medium, and you want to start by pouring some cream into the frying pan. Add a good handful of cheese to the cream, and then season with a tiny pinch of salt and some ground white pepper. Give the cheese a stir into the cream, and then in the saucepan, which you want on a medium heat, add a really generous knob of butter, about a tablespoon. Once the butter starts to melt, you want to chuck in an equal amount of plain flour, so about a tablespoon. Keep stirring while you cook out the flour, and after a few moments you'll have a nice thick bubbling paste. And to the paste you want to slowly start incorporating some milk, and we're going to be making a nice thick bechamel. So pour a little dash of milk, keep stirring, and repeat until you have a nice thick white sauce. And do keep an eye on your cream, make sure you stir it every few minutes. And then we want to add a tiny pinch of salt and a touch of ground white pepper, and then we're going to add the egg yolks to the bechamel. Make sure you turn off the heat at this point. So pour those in and then stir the yolks into the bechamel, and this is the base of our souffle. At this point, preheat the oven to 180 degrees, and now you want to butter your souffle ramekin. So take some softened butter and liberally spread it on the inside of the dish. Once that's done, pop the ramekin to one side, and we're going to push on. And then we need to whisk our egg whites. And so take your egg whites, use a hand whisk or an electronic whisk, it is up to you. And what we're looking for, we need it to be nice and fluffy, but we need to try and stop just before the point where it leaves you with stiff peaks. So after a few moments, once we're there, we need to take another small bowl, add a spoonful of the egg whites and the same amount of the bechamel. Gently fold the bechamel into the whites. Be gentle, take your time. We don't want to whisk it up or else the souffle won't rise. Once that's mixed, add another spoonful of the egg whites and fold it through and repeat. And roughly speaking, just by eye, we want to use twice the amount of egg whites as we have bechamel. Once that's done, you want to pop the mixture into your ramekin bowl and then place this in the oven, and you want to bake it off for anywhere between 5 and 7 minutes until it is risen, doubled in size, and you'll be getting a nice crust on the top of the souffle. This adds wonderful texture. So once the souffle is beautifully risen, you want to get that out of the oven and then very gently turn it upside down into the cream sauce. Next, sprinkle over another handful of your cheese, and then you want to pop this under the grill, and it will take another minute or two just for the cheese to beautifully melt over the souffle. And then place your light and fluffy souffle into a bowl, spoon in some of that delicious creamy cheese sauce, and there we have a classic dish from La Gavroche restaurant. I hope I've done it justice, and all that's left to do is to get stuck in. So give it a try, and I'll see you next time.